This is ESPN Radio 103.7 and 1450. Zach Sako here, and on the phones today, we welcome back State College High School varsity baseball head coach Jeremy Dinsmore. Coach, thank you so much again for your time.
Thanks, Zach, for having me on again. Appreciate it, buddy.
The regular season's come to a close. We're going to talk about that, recap that, plus look ahead to the district championship game, which some of the district games have started today, actually, at the time of this conversation, but State College has a bye into the championship game, the D6 6A game against Altoona. That one will be a lot of fun and something we'll talk about in just a moment here. But the regular season finished up 500, 9-9 overall, 6-8 in the mid-pen. What were some of the takeaways? I mean, this was a very balanced season. It was back and forth, we felt like, for this Little Lions team. So what is your assessment heading into the postseason?
Man, my assessment is we are exactly where we really want to be with everything to play for ahead of us. I mean, ultimately, our goal going into a season is to, one, get better and improve each day at practice and, learn and grow and become better ball players as the games go throughout the season. And I feel like we definitely did that. We playing in the mid-pen. It's a grueling season, and our district foe, Altoona, hats off to them. They actually won our Commonwealth mid-pen division, and it's going to be a challenging game when we look ahead here for next Friday for the 27th for our district championship game. But as far as the regular season goes, Zach, it was awesome. These kids, they grew, they learned, and they became better, not only ball players but men off the field. And it was an honor to coach them this season. And we're looking forward to the opportunity against Altoona in the district championship game.
Well, and to see some of the things that were posted on social media about about players on the team, and I'll name a couple of them individually. I know you could go up and down the roster and say what everyone did right, but just for example, I mean, Jack Messina had an incredible hitting season. I'll even throw Ethan Shimony into that as well. What were they able to do, both on and off the field, that helped them become leaders of this team?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll start with even Ethan, obviously being a senior, going to play ball next year at Akron. And, just the contributions that he made in the off season, just, becoming a better leader, being a better teammate. I mean, his skill set and his knowledge of the game is probably one of the best that I've been around in a very long time. And, he works very hard at his craft. But, last year, he was regarded as our team MVP as a junior, and, and everybody knew him. He batted .394 last year. So, the script was out on him that, teams knew to, keep their eye on number 17 there for us. And that allowed things to open up a little bit for Jack Messina. And, the same can be said, the kind of year that, Ethan had last year, Jack had this year. And the work that both of them put in the off season of becoming a better player, I mean, it didn't go unnoticed. It was in the weight room. It was going to before school workouts. It was going to after school workouts, and just getting together and bonding and doing different things. And the success was there, and it didn't happen for a reason. They worked hard, they earned it, and really, really proud of those two individuals for sure.
Another one who's going to play Division I baseball in his future, that's Brady Bendick, leading the team in earned run average, and he's probably the anchor in the staff. I'm sure you would agree with me, along with all the other quality arms that you're able to turn to. Did he have the season you expected him to, building off his junior campaign? Yeah,
I mean, absolutely. I mean, obviously, if you go by the numbers, the only numbers that did not improve really for him were his win-loss ratio. And I mean, that's just to be the horse in the mid-pen. I mean, you're facing usually, when we throw him, we're seeing the ace from Cumberland Valley, from, Central Dauphin, from, Redland, everybody. So it's a battle, and I call it the ace curse, just because you're getting the best as well. And, some of those games that he lost by 1-0 or 1-run games that we as a team did not, produce at the plate or, score enough runs for him. But in the grand scheme of things, he pitched phenomenal. He had over 30 innings pitched. His walk strikeout ratio was great. His ERA was still a 2.12. His whip was 1.4, I believe. So still a great year. He's a competitor. He's a dog on the mound. Just everything that you want in a pitcher and as a teammate. And just he wants the ball when it matters most. So really proud of Brady for all the hard work, obviously, that he put in the off season, but that he continued to do And even when he was not pitching, just the teammate that he was, he had to play first base a couple times. He had some at-bats as well. I mean, just an overall great teammate, great player, and really proud of him and the excitement that I have for him when he gets to the next level at Navy.
State College varsity baseball head coach Jeremy Dinsmore is on the line with us here on ESPN Radio. You mentioned Altoona, very competitive team this year, a talented team in the Commonwealth that ended up taking the conference. The last time that State College faced them was a 15-7 defeat at the hands of the Mountain Lions. Looking back at that game, what could have been improved upon? What conversation was centered around that game, especially knowing that you were probably going to face them again in the district title at that time?
Yeah, so we both didn't throw. I would say, as far as State College and Altoona, both did not throw what we regard as our aces. So you're kind of not showing your hand at that point. But at this point in time, when we faced them that second time, they were hot. They were hitting everything, and heck, there was a ball almost above a kid's head, and he roped it down the line. And at that point, you just tip your cap off, and they've got hot at the right time, and they finished off the year. I mean, that's the beauty of playing in the Mid-Penn. You play these tough opponents that get you ready for next week in these district championship games. We took the first one against them. We came back on a victory from them, and we still put up 7 runs in that second game, and we played good baseball. It's just our pitching just that day didn't have the stuff, and we threw a couple kids even that haven't even been on the mound that day. So we're really looking forward to having that rubber match to them and it being in a district championship type spot.
Yeah, really deciding it all. The third game of the series that's going to be at the Altoona Curbs PNG Field, and State College is very familiar with that. So do you think this group, because every group changes, of course, with the fact that it's high school sports, everyone graduates and has to move on in the 4-year period, and you don't necessarily get all 4 years out of that player on varsity, but is this group ready to be at PNG Field with the experience that has already come back and knows that? How have the veterans communicated with the new guys about what this is going to be like?
Yeah, there's been no doubt a communication level from our upperclassmen to our underclassmen with that. I mean, we've had the opportunity this year to go to F&B Field out in Harrisburg at the Senators ballpark and play Cumberland Valley on their senior night, a big night. Everybody was up, a great crowd, and we came off that game with a win. And, so we obviously have been in these moments now where it's like in that big game atmosphere, big minor league ballpark. And obviously we take our, some of those juniors this year, Jack Messina, Adam Cooper, Cooper Ryan, and then throw them in the mix with our seniors. They were part of that team last year at against Mifflin County in our district championship game. So we've been there, and I feel like, the communication right now, it's all been positive. We've been working really hard at practice this past week, and, we're going to continue to get after it here up until next week. We're going to, do different situations and how can we see best fit to win the game next Friday. And, man, these boys they're eager and they're excited to get it going.
This is going to be a lengthy gap between the last time you played baseball with the regular season finale to next week's game against Altoona. What's the most beneficial part of the practices or just this time frame to really focus on things? I got to imagine it's the rest going into this. Arms can get some rest and get back to full strength.
Yeah, the rest on the pitching staff is a huge plus, but it's also going back to the little things, like revisiting certain bunt coverages, doing squeeze-type plays, doing inner squads, getting in a postseason scrimmage here and there, the best that you can from other teams, local teams. So trying to keep things different and obviously kind of full steam ahead, especially when we're at practice. We try to make it, obviously fun, but also difficult so that when the game time comes, it's second nature. They've been in that situation and they know how to handle it and execute.
And this will be it out of the last 3 years that you've played in the district playoffs. You meet Altoona at least at one point in time, whether that's in the semifinal or in the championship itself. Are you expecting anything different as far as what they're going to throw at you come next week at PNG?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, Coach Smith over there has a great team. They're, like you were just saying a couple minutes ago, everybody kind of graduates and it brings new life in. And and kind of we've seen that this year as well. So, obviously they're going to be throwing their ace that we have yet to see. But, again, I kind of harp on everything with the, with playing in the mid-pen. You face tough components and opponents, and hopefully if their guy has their stuff that day, hopefully we have our bats that day. So it's going to be fun, man. And that's the best opportunity for these kids is, to get back to playing baseball with everything they've gone through the last couple of years, and to have a game this magnitude is really exciting for them to participate in, for sure.
State College Baseball's Jeremy Dinsmore is on the line with us. Coach, another question I have is about the assets going into this game. I know that you have to win this district title game at the Altoona Curve Field in order to get to states, but to look ahead, or just it's more to define what are these strengths that make State College a good playoff team if you're able to go on a run here.
I would definitely say our pitching, no doubt. I feel like the one thing that we've seen over the years is, each team usually has that one or two guys that could help carry a team deep in the playoffs. And, I almost feel like we legit could count on all 5, 6 of our guys that have thrown for us this year, really in any situation, just because, again, I've said it now about 5 times, playing in the mid-pen, every game's a big game. So whether I need to make a spot for a pitching change with guys in scoring position and a new guy comes in, they've been in those spots. So yes, things are going to be a little bit more, magnified a little bit because every pitch, every, block ball matters. But at the same time, I feel like our pitching staff is, ready to handle the load and make a run for it.
Coach, last question I have before I let you go, and I always appreciate your time, is what is the message that is being hammered home by you and your coaching staff about how to stay mentally focused, how to prepare for all the little things, seeing Altoona for a third game? It's all going to be brand new, but it's strange because it's so familiar at the same time playing them again. What is being drilled towards the end of the season here?
The thing is just the motivation, to show up, know your role, do your job, and do your job really well. And, right now school's almost out, so, motivation kind of starts to teeter a little bit, so it's just, again, trying to keep things fun. And, again, like I said in the opening statement, like everything that we worked for in the off season is still right there in front of us, even with a, 500 record. The opportunity to play for a district championship is what we strive for. And here we are in that moment. So, there really is no let up. And like we said earlier, some of those games, a hit there and a hit, there, that record could be a little bit better. And, I think these guys are hungry and they want to continue to play together, and they know the message is, hey, this is the last time these boys are going to play together as a collective, as a team. So why not try to make these days count and play together as long as we can.
And I'm gonna break away from the conversation here. I'll edit this out. But from what I've gathered on the internet, from the website, it says TBD. Is there an actual date for the game and a time?
So it will be next Friday on the 27th.
Okay, so it'll be on the 27th. Okay, that's first pitch. Because that's what I was going to exit with that. But yep. The website says TBD, and I was like, well, I'd like to know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll finish with that here.
Yep.
State College versus Altoona, the District 6 6A championship game at PNG Field in Altoona, home to the Curb, Friday, May 27th. Coach, best of luck, and really a perfect setup to see who is the true team that can go into the state tournament there.
No doubt. Thank you very much, Zach. I appreciate all your time and coverage of our team and our players this year.